Hello viewers. What's up? Hope you are well. Today's motivational story is one-legged marathoner, how a war veteran ran across America with one prosthetic leg. Noah Walker was born in a quiet town tucked between the gentle hills of Kentucky. He wasn't the fastest kid in school, nor the tallest, nor the strongest. But from the moment his feet hit the ground, Noah ran. He ran through tall cornfields with the wind chasing him like a playful sibling. He ran down dusty roads to escape his worries, to feel free, to feel alive. His mother used to joke that Noah didn't walk before he ran. Life in the Walker household was simple, humble. His father, a mechanic, worked long hours, often with grease on his hands and a smile on his face. His mother stayed home, raising Noah and his younger sister, Ellie, with warmth and gentle discipline. From an early age, Noah showed a kind of fire inside, an unwillingness to give up, even when things got hard. In middle school, Noah joined the track team. He wasn't a star athlete, but he was consistent. Rain or shine, he showed up. Coach Ramirez noticed something in Noah, not just his determination, but the way he ran with emotion, as if each lap was a conversation with his soul. By high school, he had become a standout in cross-country meets. Not the fastest, but the fiercest. Noah didn't run for medals. He ran for the feeling. That pure, witless second when both feet lifted off the ground, where he felt untouchable, infinite. But dreams don't always sprint in straight lines. After graduation, while many of his peers left for college or took jobs, Noah enlisted in the army. Not because he loved war, but because he believed in service. He believed in sacrifice. And he thought, in some way, it would make him stronger. Basic training tested Noah's limits. Grueling routines, mental challenges, and the cold sting of separation from home, he took them all in stride. His discipline from years of running translated well into military life. He rose quickly in rank and gained the respect of his unit. Then came Afghanistan. The dust there was different. It clung to your skin, found its way into your lungs, and never truly left you. Patrols were long and tense. But Noah carried the same resolve he had on the track. His brothers-in-arms became his new team. And in war, the stakes were infinitely higher. On a cloudy morning during his second deployment, everything changed. Their convoy was hit by an IED, an explosion that tore through metal, air, and time itself. In the chaos, Noah remembered the noise, the roar like a beast awakening, and the sensation of weightlessness, not unlike his running days, except this time, it was followed by pain. Blinding, scorching pain. When he woke in a military hospital in Germany, they told him the news: his right leg had been amputated above the knee. At first, there was silence. Not the kind you hear, but the kind that grows inside you. A silence that swallows dreams whole. He stared at the space where his leg used to be, expecting it to move, to return, to rewind time. It didn't. He was 26 years old, a soldier, a runner, and now, a man with one leg. Letters came in from family, friends, his hometown. But Noah felt like he was drifting further and further from the world he once knew. The hardest part wasn't the physical therapy. It wasn't the endless hours of pain or learning to walk again. It was the question that haunted him every night: who am I now? Noah returned home a hero, but he didn't feel like one. The welcome banners in town fluttered proudly. The mayor gave a small speech. Strangers shook his hand, but inside, Noah was drowning. The world moved on, but he was stuck in the same frame. The moment the blast stole his leg, his peace, and maybe a part of his soul. Post-traumatic stress wasn't just a term in a brochure. It lived in his nightmares, in sudden noises, in crowded places, even in silence. He would often find himself staring out the window of his room for hours, watching the trees sway, trying to ground himself. His mother tried to help. She cooked his favorite meals. His sister Ellie, now a teenager, would sit beside him and talk about school, boys, anything to make him smile. His father built him a wooden ramp to get around the house easier. But nothing could fix what was broken inside. Physical therapy was its own kind of war. Each day he'd strap on a temporary prosthetic, wobbling like a baby deer, falling, getting back up, falling again. The therapists were kind but firm. "You've got this," they'd say. But Noah didn't believe it. One rainy afternoon, he sat alone in the garage, his dad's old workspace. The smell of oil and metal filled the air. He spotted an old shoebox on a shelf. Inside were his high school medals, dusty and faded. He picked up one and ran his fingers over it. For a brief moment, he saw himself, not broken, but flying, both feet in the air. Tears came, not from pain, but from the unbearable weight of loss. That night, he wrote a note to himself. Just one line, "I am still here." Noah's breakthrough didn't come with a trumpet or a cheer. It came in the form of a challenge, one made by his physical therapist, Jenna. "You used to run, right?" she asked one morning. He nodded. "What if I told you that with time and training, you could run again? Not like before, but differently. Stronger." He laughed, a dry, bitter laugh. "I have one leg, Jenna, and a heart that never quit," she replied. "That's what really runs." The idea haunted him. Could he? Should he? He began reading about other amputee athletes, about marathons, about long-distance runners who defied every limitation. He found videos, watched them late into the night, heart pounding. Then one morning, he stood in front of the mirror and said the words aloud, "I'm going to run again." He ordered a specialized running prosthetic, curved like a blade, engineered for motion. The first time he tried it on, he fell. But he got back up. He fell again. Got back up. Over and over. Jenna trained him. Slowly. One step. Then two. Then a jog. Then a breathless, glorious run across the rehab center parking lot. Strangers watched. Some clapped. Some cried. Noah didn't hear any of it. All he heard was the rhythm of his breath and the sound of one leg hitting the ground again and again. Like a drumbeat of rebirth, he signed up for a local 5K charity race 6 months later. It wasn't about winning. It was about proving something to himself, to the world. He finished that race dead last. But he finished. And as he crossed the line, Ellie ran up to him, tear-streaked and smiling. "You did it." He smiled back and whispered, "This is only the beginning." The Dream Ignites has now been fully written, depicting Noah's emotional breakthrough and the birth of his audacious goal to run across America. Finding His Why is now complete. It dives deep into Noah's soul-searching, his emotional connection to fallen comrades, and his ultimate purpose, to run not just for himself, but for those who can't. The roadmap is now complete. It outlines Noah's ambitious plan to run across America, from the Pacific Ocean in California to the Atlantic coast in Virginia. With help from therapists, his prosthetist, and a budding online support base, the journey begins to take shape on paper before it hits the pavement. Training Days is now complete, detailing Noah's grueling physical and emotional preparation for the run, including prosthetic challenges, mental breakdowns, and small personal victories that slowly built his strength and resolve. The send-off is now complete. It captures the emotional launch of Noah's cross-country run, with family, veterans, and media gathered to cheer him on as he dips his hand into the Pacific Ocean, promising not to stop until he reaches the Atlantic. The first miles is now complete. It highlights the harsh reality of the beginning, blisters, loneliness, media attention, and the emotional weight of his promise, all carried by one prosthetic leg and an unbreakable will. Across the Desert is complete, capturing the unforgiving heat, mental trials, and moments of quiet inspiration that test and transform Noah through the arid landscapes of Arizona and New Mexico. The people he meets is complete. It portrayed how strangers, veterans, children, single mothers, even fellow amputees, offered no food, shelter, stories, and strength, reminding him that this journey wasn't his alone. The breakdown is now ready. It captures Noah's toughest moments, the physical pain, the mental exhaustion, the creeping doubt, and how he wrestles with giving up, only to find new resolve deep within. A new resolve is now complete. It shows Noah reconnecting with his purpose, reigniting his passion, and pushing past limits with fresh determination. The halfway mark is done, detailing the physical and emotional milestone where Noah reaches the midpoint of his cross-country journey, reflecting on how far he's come and the challenges ahead. Facing the storm is now complete. It covers the literal and figurative storms, weather, setbacks, media scrutiny, that test Noah's endurance and spirit. The power of community is complete. It highlights how local supporters, veterans groups, and strangers rally around Noah, fueling his motivation and reminding him of the strength found in unity. The final stretch is complete. It captures Noah's emotional and physical push toward the Atlantic coast. The pain, the hope, the memories driving each step. Crossing the finish line is complete. It depicts the triumphant and deeply emotional moment Noah reaches the Atlantic Ocean, fulfilling his promise and inspiring countless others. A new beginning is complete. It explores Noah's life after the run, his advocacy for veterans, motivational speaking, and how his journey inspired a movement beyond himself. That's all for today's story. Please comment and let us know what you learned from today's story. And if you like it, don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Thank you.